Florida's real estate market once stood as the nation's undisputed leader, a beacon of rapid growth and soaring property values. For years, it captivated investors and homeowners alike with its seemingly endless upward trajectory. However, this dynamic has undergone a profound transformation. By 2025, the market shifted dramatically from a pandemic-driven boom to a significant and undeniable correction. This reversal marks a critical juncture for the state's economic landscape. A key indicator of this shift is the plummeting migration rate, which has fallen by an astonishing 80%. This decline effectively erased an estimated 250,000 potential buyers from the market annually. The sudden reduction in demand has had immediate and widespread consequences. This dramatic change has directly led to steep price cuts across the state. What was once a seller's paradise has quickly become a more challenging environment, forcing a reevaluation of market expectations and investment strategies. The unprecedented real estate boom in Florida, spanning from 2020 to 2022, was primarily fueled by two powerful forces: the widespread adoption of remote work and the state's attractive tax advantages. These factors combined to create a unique market environment. Florida experienced a massive influx of newcomers during this period, attracting over 314,000 individuals seeking new opportunities and lifestyles. This surge in population placed immense pressure on the housing supply. Consequently, home prices soared to unprecedented levels. The median home price escalated from approximately $270,000 to over $430,000 by 2024, reflecting the intense demand. This rapid appreciation created substantial equity for existing homeowners. A significant portion of these new buyers originated from high-cost metropolitan areas, including cities like New York and Los Angeles. They sought refuge from urban density and high living expenses, viewing Florida as an appealing alternative. Their motivation was often rooted in Florida's favorable tax structure, specifically the absence of state income and estate taxes. Many perceived the state as offering a lower overall cost of living, despite rising housing prices. The market during this boom was characterized by rapid sales, intense bidding wars, and even sight-unseen purchases. Buyers were eager to secure properties, often waiving contingencies in a highly competitive environment. This influx of high-income earners created a significant disparity with local economic realities. The median local income of approximately $65,000 struggled to compete with the purchasing power of these affluent newcomers, exacerbating affordability issues for long-term residents. One of the primary catalysts for Florida's market turnaround has been the reversal of remote work trends. Major corporations, including giants like Amazon and Meta, began implementing return-to-office mandates. This policy shift directly impacted many who had relocated to Florida for remote work flexibility. These mandates caused a significant number of individuals to leave Florida, returning to their corporate hubs. Concurrently, the volume of remote job postings experienced a noticeable decline, further reducing the appeal of relocating solely for work flexibility. Evidence of this reversal is clear in migration data. Counties such as Miami-Dade and Hillsborough, once magnets for new residents, began to record net outflows of population. This demographic shift directly reduced the pool of potential homebuyers. The escalating cost of property insurance has emerged as a critical factor in the market correction. This issue was severely exacerbated by a series of devastating hurricanes, most notably Hurricane Ian in 2022. These events highlighted the state's vulnerability to natural disasters. Insurance premiums subsequently exploded, transforming from an average of $2,500 annually to a staggering $10,000 to $16,000 for many homeowners. This dramatic increase placed immense financial strain on property owners. The crisis led to numerous insurers going bankrupt or withdrawing from the state entirely. This exodus forced a growing number of homeowners into Citizens Property Insurance, the state-backed insurer of last resort, which itself faced mounting pressures. Rate hikes of 100 to 400% became common, turning insurance bills into expenses comparable to or even exceeding monthly mortgage payments. This affordability challenge significantly impacted homeownership costs. Beyond immediate insurance costs, the broader implications of climate risks have begun to diminish Florida's long-term appeal. Extreme heat, rising humidity, and increasingly frequent and intense storms are becoming undeniable realities. These environmental challenges translate into practical inconveniences and dangers for residents. Evacuations, gridlock on major roadways, and prolonged power outages have become seasonal rituals, disrupting daily life. The cumulative effect of these climate-related issues is a gradual erosion of the state's perceived quality of life. Potential residents and investors are increasingly weighing these environmental factors into their decisions. the affordability crisis in Florida has deepened significantly, impacting a broad spectrum of residents. Local incomes have simply been unable to keep pace with the inflated housing prices established during the boom. Everyday costs associated with homeownership have surged across the board. Property taxes, homeowners association fees, and special hurricane assessments have all contributed to a rapidly rising financial burden. Condominium owners, in particular, have faced substantial financial shocks. Many have been hit with special assessments, often totaling tens of thousands of dollars, to cover deferred maintenance or new insurance requirements. This confluence of rising costs has made homeownership increasingly unattainable for many Floridians. The dream of owning a home has become a distant reality for a growing segment of the population. The rapid population growth experienced during the boom years placed immense strain on Florida's existing infrastructure. Highways became more congested, schools faced overcrowding, and water systems struggled to meet increased demand. This overstretched infrastructure has tangible consequences for residents. Increased traffic, longer commutes, and the rising cost of utilities have all contributed to a diminished quality of life. The state's appeal, once centered on its relaxed lifestyle and natural beauty, has been somewhat eroded by these growing pains. The promise of an idyllic life is now tempered by the realities of rapid, unmanaged expansion. The Florida real estate market has undergone a fundamental shift in its dynamics. Inventory has surged dramatically, with over 170,000 active listings now available across the state. This abundance contrasts sharply with the scarcity of the boom years. Concurrently, sales have slowed considerably, and property prices have begun a noticeable decline. The frenetic pace of transactions has given way to a more measured and cautious market environment. Homes are now lingering on the market for significantly longer periods, averaging 40 to 50 days. This extended time allows buyers more opportunity for due diligence and negotiation. Price declines are widespread, affecting approximately 2/3 of single-family home markets and over 90% of condominium markets. This broad-based reduction indicates a systemic correction rather than isolated adjustments. Even luxury markets such as Naples have not been immune, experiencing significant price drops of around 19%. This demonstrates the pervasive nature of the market adjustment across all price points. Crucially, power has shifted back to the buyers. They are now in a stronger position to negotiate repairs, demand concessions, and secure more favorable terms, a stark contrast to the seller's market of recent years. The market correction has placed considerable financial strain on many Florida homeowners. Soaring insurance premiums and other escalating costs have significantly eroded personal savings. A concerning consequence is the rise in negative equity, particularly in areas like Cape Coral, where approximately 8% of mortgages are now underwater. This means homeowners owe more than their property is worth. This financial pressure is contributing to an increase in mortgage delinquencies and, in some cases, foreclosures. Homeowners are struggling to manage the combined burden of higher costs and declining property values. The dream of homeownership, once a source of wealth creation, has become a significant financial challenge for many. The rapid appreciation of the boom years is now being offset by the realities of the correction. The real estate correction carries significant implications for Florida's broader economy. Local tax revenues, heavily reliant on property values and transactions, are now threatened, potentially impacting municipal budgets. The construction sector, a major economic driver, has also slowed considerably. Developers are pausing new projects, leading to reduced employment and investment in the industry. Mortgage delinquencies, while still manageable, have begun to edge upward, signaling potential stress in the financial system. This trend warrants close monitoring by financial institutions. Furthermore, consumer spending, often linked to perceived household wealth and confidence, has shown signs of cooling. This broader economic slowdown could have ripple effects across various sectors of the state's economy. Florida's current real estate situation is not an isolated phenomenon. It mirrors broader trends observed in other rapidly growing Sunbelt states, including Texas and Arizona. These regions experienced similar pandemic-era booms. These states are now facing comparable challenges, with similar factors leading to slowdowns in migration and cooling housing markets. The Florida experience offers valuable insights into these regional dynamics. The commonalities suggest a broader rebalancing of housing markets across the Sunbelt. This indicates a shift away from the unsustainable growth rates seen during the pandemic. Despite the market correction, Florida continues to attract significant wealth. In 2023, the state recorded an impressive $36 billion in net income inflows, demonstrating its enduring appeal to affluent individuals. However, the crucial distinction lies in the volume of new buyers. While wealth still flows in, the sheer number of individuals relocating and actively purchasing homes has decreased significantly. This suggests a more selective and perhaps slower pace of investment. The market is no longer driven by a massive influx of new residents, but by a more discerning group of high-net-worth individuals. For Florida to navigate this correction successfully, several critical policy areas require immediate attention. Stabilizing the insurance markets is paramount to restoring confidence and affordability for homeowners. Addressing the widening gap between local wages and housing costs is also crucial. Policies aimed at increasing median incomes or expanding affordable housing options are essential for long-term sustainability. Furthermore, significant investment in infrastructure is necessary to support existing populations and any future growth. Upgrading highways, schools, and utilities will enhance the state's overall appeal and functionality. These proactive measures are vital to mitigate the negative impacts of the correction and build a more resilient economic future for the state. The current market correction presents Florida with two distinct potential outcomes. If comprehensive reforms are implemented, particularly in insurance and affordability, the state could experience a healthy correction. This would involve prices returning to more realistic and sustainable levels, benefiting long-term residents. Conversely, if critical issues persist without adequate policy intervention, Florida could face a prolonged decline in property values and a deepening affordability crisis. This scenario would have severe economic and social consequences. The choices made by policymakers and industry leaders in the coming months will largely determine the trajectory of Florida's real estate market. A proactive approach is essential to avoid a more severe downturn. Florida's journey from boom to correction serves as a powerful cautionary tale for other regions. It highlights the inherent vulnerabilities of markets driven primarily by speculation and external factors. The experience underscores the critical importance of addressing structural weaknesses within housing affordability and climate resilience. Ignoring these foundational issues can lead to significant market instability. Ultimately, the Florida market correction emphasizes the need for balanced growth, sustainable policies, and a realistic assessment of environmental and economic risks. It is a lesson in the complexities of rapid expansion and the necessity of long-term planning.